Today's top stories. The government strengthens its immunization drive amid the measles outbreak. The House approves a bill reviving ROTC in schools. About 75% of voters participate in the Bangsamoro organic law plebiscite. And the DOH warns the public against swimming in Manila Bay.
Good day, I'm Pia Rosas Marato. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Malacanang has ordered the strengthening of the government's immunization program. This as the Department of Health confirms the outbreak of measles in Metro Manila and other parts of the country. More on this from Rom Dulfo.
President Duterte convened the cabinet in Malacanang to discuss the status of the government's immunization program. The chief executive expressed concern over the drop in the number of children receiving vaccines. This came as the health department confirmed a measles outbreak in the National Capital Region or NCR. The DOH says there are about 861 suspected measles cases all over Metro Manila as of February 2. Total number of measles cases nationwide has increased by 547%. Health Undersecretary Eric Domingo attributes the rise in measles cases to the low average of measles vaccinations as a result of the Dengvaxia controversy. Meanwhile, Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles urged local officials to convince parents to trust the government's immunization program. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Public Attorney's Office Chief Persida Rueda Acosta said she shouldn't be blamed for the measles outbreak in Metro Manila. Acosta said Dengvaxia and measles are different matters and avoiding vaccines altogether because of the Dengvaxia issue is wrong. She said PAO did not create the vaccine scare, but the manufacturer Sanofi, who announced that Dengvaxia was flawed long after it was distributed. For its part, the DOH said PAO should not be blamed as it is only pursuing its advocacy. However, Health Secretary Francisco Duque admits Acosta's statements eroded the trust in the DOH and the vaccination program. COMELEC reports about 75% voter turnout in the second Bangsamoro organic law plebiscite in parts of Lanao del Norte and North Cotabato. COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez says no untoward incidents have been reported despite receiving rumors of security threats. He also said 100% of the precincts in said provinces have opened to accommodate voters. Meantime, the COMELEC and bank sitting as a national plebiscite board of canvassers convened today to tally the certificates of canvass from the said areas. The House Committees on Health and on Good Governance has recommended the filing of charges over the controversial Dengvaxia dengue vaccination program. Those facing charges are former President Benigno Aquino III, former Budget Secretary Butch Abad, former Health Secretary Janet Garin, and other former and current health officials. The House Committee said the accused colluded to buy a large amount of Dengvaxia for inoculation in Metro Manila, Central Luzon, and Calabarzon, and favoring vaccine manufacturer Sanofi Pasteur. Aside from the transactions believed to be anomalous, the program was initiated without clarifying the safety of the vaccine. Joint House panel also recommended the filing of technical malversation charges against Aquino, Abad, Garin, and Philippine Children's Medical Center Executive Director Julius Lesiones. They will also face a civil action along with Zuilig Pharma Corporation. The Senate ratifies a bill for first-time workers, and the Department of Agriculture warns against the entry of a plant disease. More on these and other news around the metro from Benj Bondok.
The Senate ratified the Bicameral Conference Committee report on the bill seeking to exempt first-time workers from paying government fees and charges on job requirements. The Senate also approved the reconciled version of the First-Time Job Seekers Assistance Act, which will ease the financial burden of those looking for jobs. Some 600,000 fresh graduates and out-of-school youth applying for jobs for the first time are expected to benefit from the proposed law. Meanwhile, the Department of Agriculture has tightened importation rules on fruits, vegetables, and plants. Agriculture Secretary Manny Piñol warned against the entry of Fusarium or Panama disease, which may affect the growth of bananas. Piñol has also rejected requests for exemptions from quarantine for pork and pork-based products due to the ongoing African swine flu scare. In other news, former PNP and Bureau of Corrections Chief Ronald Bato de la Rosa says he asked forgiveness from Archbishop Rolando Tria Tirona of the Diocese of Caceres in Naga City for the lives lost as a result of the government's war on drugs. He admitted that it was during his administration at the PNP when most of the deaths occurred. De la Rosa, who is running for senator, said he believes the bishop will give him pardon. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Bench Bondo.
Still to come, the House of Representatives approves a bill reviving ROTC in schools on second reading. Iloilo City opens its sports facilities for free in preparation for Batang Pinoy 2019. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ito ang Duterte on Duty. Ulat sa ginagawa ng Presidente. January 26, Sabado, Cagayan de Oro City. Pinarangalan ni Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte ang mga sundalong nasugatan mula sa engkwentro kontra New People's Army sa Mindanao. January 28, Lunes, Holosulu. Galit at dismayadong ininspeksyon ng Pangulo ang Our Lady of Mount Carmel Cathedral na niyanig ng dalawang pagsabog noong January 27, 2019.
Pugin ninyo ang kabusaya. By whatever means, our duty is to protect the Filipino people. And second is that we have to preserve the nation. Pag nawala yung hulo, baski isang island yan, then we have failed in our mission to preserve the territory of the Republic of the Philippines.
Binisita niya ang mga sibilyan at sundalong nasugatan sa pagsabog. Nakiramay din siya sa pamilya ng mga biktima ng terorismo at nangakong bibigyan ng hustisya ang pagkamatay ng kanilang mga mahal sa buhay. January 29, Martes, Malabon City. Pinangunahan ni Pangulong Duterte ang groundbreaking ceremony ng San Lorenzo Ruiz General Hospital.
It is my pleasure to be with you today as we lay the groundwork for a project that will soon serve not only the people of Malabon but also patients coming from adjoining areas such as Kamanava and Bulacan.
Ako po si Secretary Martin Andanar at ito ang Duterte on Duty. Abangan sa susunod na linggo ang mga gagawin ng Pangulo.
The Congress approved on second reading the bill seeking to revive the Reserve Officers Training Corps or ROTC for senior high school students. House Bill 8961 was approved unanimously and may be passed on final reading this week or in May. The bill primarily aims to inculcate nationalism, nation building, and national preparedness among the Filipino youth. Under the measure, the mandatory basic ROTC program for grades 11 and 12 will be a prerequisite for graduation. An American organization expressed confidence in the growth of the Philippine coffee industry as more people consume local beans with improved taste and quality. More on this from Miguel Hill.
The Philippine coffee industry is in a good trend in terms of production and quality, according to an American non-government organization helping farmers in the country. There is more coffee consumption in the country as well as robust growth in both quality and production. TJ Ryan, chief of party of the Activoca, cited the crafting of the 5-year National Coffee Roadmap that seeks to guide key sector players and government agencies in the development of the coffee industry. Activoca has been providing technical support to Philippine coffee farmers with total funding of $515 million focusing on Bukidnon, Socsargen, Davao, Caraga, and parts of the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao. Ryan says Philippine coffee has already penetrated the markets in Canada, Japan, and New Zealand, and that the domestic market continues to be strong, especially for specialized coffee. Activoca is also helping to build a culture of quality consciousness by staging the Philippine Coffee Quality Competition, Now in its third year, OCQC hopes to draw more coffee processors to join the competition this year. Local producers are invited to submit entries between February 22 to March 8. The cupping event will be held between March 10 and 22 in Manila. The winning coffees for the PCQC 2019 competition will be publicly cupped in the SCA Global Expo on April 11 to 14 in Boston, Massachusetts. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
In other news, the Bangsamoro Organic Law Plebiscite in 7 towns of North Cotabato was generally peaceful. Chief Superintendent Eliseo Tamrasco of Police Regional Police 12, or SOC Sergeant, described the voting as calm and orderly in the towns of Aliosan, Carmen, Gabacan, Midsayap, Pigkawayan, Pikit, and Tulunan. However, Deputy Regional Director Senior Superintendent Oliver Enmodias reported a case of indiscriminate firing in Pigkawayan when an unidentified man who allegedly failed to find his name in the list of voters fired upon the school. In Gabacan Town, a man peeped at another voter's ballot and then tore it up when it saw a no vote. In a separate report, authorities in Aliosan Town arrested a man who was carrying an unlicensed gun inside a polling precinct. Police are verifying reports that he is a member of the Bangsamoro Islamic Armed Forces. Over 400,000 pesos worth of shabu were seized in Kalinga Province. Meanwhile, the Iloilo local government offers the use of its sports facilities for free. More on these and other stories from the provinces from Janice Gov't.
In Kalinga Province, police seized a total of 65 grams of shabu worth 442,000 pesos in a buy-bust operation in Tabuk City. 3 suspects were nabbed after selling 2 plastic sachets of shabu weighing about 10 grams to undercover police officers. PDEA says several arrests in the region involved tourists or those who visit the Cordillera to sell illegal drugs. In General Trias, Cavite, its yearly anti-rabies campaign has stepped up through massive vaccinations of pet dogs and cats in all 33 villages in the city. This is a preemptive move against the spread of the deadly disease and to ultimately achieve its goal of a rabies-free city. In Iloilo City, Governor Arthur Defensor Sr. has allowed the free use of facilities at the Iloilo Sports Complex in the upcoming Visayas qualifying leg of the Batang Pinoy 2019. The sports event will be held in different venues of the province from February 23 until March 2. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Gov't.
Up next, the DOH warns the public against swimming in Manila Bay. Mighty Sports sweeps its way to the quarterfinals of the Dubai International Basketball Championship. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
This is Secretary Martin Andanon, and you're watching.
Now, it is only last quarter of last year na I was already verbalizing kung ano yung objective ng PCOO sa media. One is media policy. We continue to support media policies that promote the greatest welfare of the media workers. Pangalawa, we continue to promote FOI because it is FOI that guarantees public access to information. Kung sino may kinabang ito, mga journalist. Pangatlong policy ay yung bridging the media and the government.
The Department of Health warns the public against swimming in Manila Bay despite it looking clean and garbage-free. The DOH has advised the public to wait until the water is deemed safe for recreational swimming. Before the cleanup, Manila Bay was tested to have high levels of coliform. The DOH says swimming in polluted water could lead to gastrointestinal diseases such as diarrhea, cholera, typhoid, dysentery, as well as skin diseases and eye infection. In our foreign news, Iraq has expressed openness in establishing effective relations with Italy and the European Union. Iraq's President Barham Salih met with the visiting Italy's Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte in Baghdad. Salih reaffirmed Iraq's willingness to expand cooperation with regional and international countries. Salih also expressed his appreciation for Italy's participation in the anti-Islamic State Global Coalition, assistance in security forces, and contribution in several service projects in Iraq. For his part, Conte reaffirmed his country's support in the fight against terrorism and willingness to boost bilateral cooperation. Conte arrived in Baghdad for his first official visit as a prime minister and was received by his Iraqi counterpart, Adel Abdul Mahdi. Mighty Sports egged out Al Wada 85-81 to take the top spot in Group B of the Dubai International Basketball Championship. The team bucked an injury scare on Roosevelt Adams and Justin Brownlee to edge out the Syrians who took advantage of their slowdown. Adams, who suffered a groin injury before halftime, led Mighty Sports with 21 points, including 3 triples. Meanwhile, Brownlee tweaked his knee during a defensive play but continued playing. Mighty Sports, who now stands at the top of the quarterfinals, will face either AS Sale or AL Naft from Group A. The Bangsamoro Plebiscite in Lanao del Norte ended successfully despite threats of violence from nearby areas. Willard Basalonia filed this report.
After 3 incidents of explosions in 3 different towns of Lalac, Auswagan, and Sultan Naga de Maporo here in Lanao del Norte yesterday, PNP Chief Director Oscar Albayalde personally visited today a polling center here and met with Lanao del Norte PNP, officials of the Philippine Army, and the Commission on Elections to discuss updates on security measures for the ongoing Bangsamoro Organic Law or BOL plebiscite in the province. In a press briefing in Tubod Central Elementary School, Director Albayalde ordered the security forces to strengthen the checkpoints along major roads in the province. He also assured that PNP does not allow armed MILF members to enter polling centers without proper authority coming from the COMELEC.
Pwede sila mag-observe siguro dun sa labas, provided that they will not intimidate the voters. They're not authorized to bear firearms or carry any deadly weapon, at hindi rin sila pwedeng mag-uniforme or magsuot ng kahit anong may markings doon sa markings ng kanilang unit or kanilang group doon sa habang sila ay nag-observe. When they start intimidating people, they'll be arrested.
He also added that both PNP and AFP, comprising of almost 4,000 troops here in Lanao del Norte, are ready for any untoward incidents. All security forces were also instructed by Albayalde to stay with the plebiscite committee in polling centers until they have brought the ballots to the canvassing area. Meanwhile, Albayalde shared that they have already identified persons of interest on the recent explosion incidents happened in the towns of Lalac, Auswagan, and Sultan Naga de Maporo.
The explosions, yung mga incidents are still being investigated. Merong persons of interest, and of course yung isa kasi yun lang na may CCTV na nakuhanan. They belong to the same group but not the same person.
The official also assured that the augmentation forces will stay on their posts until the peace and order situation in the province will normalize. After the press briefing, Albayalde visited a polling precinct in Tubod Central Elementary School with Lanao del Norte Provincial Election Supervisor Joseph Hamilton Cuevas. Since the start of the voting this morning, PNP has not recorded any election-related incident here in Lanao del Norte. For PNA Newsroom, Willard Basalonia, Philippine Information Agency.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here's another look at today's top stories.
The government strengthens its immunization drive amid the measles outbreak. The House approves a bill reviving ROTC in schools. About 75% of voters participate in the Bangsamoro Organic Law Plebiscite. And the DOH warns the public against swimming in Manila Bay.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Pia Roses Morato. Good day.